We had a member on our page by the name of Pappa Rodger, and the way he spoke gave everybody just like a very off feeling.
They weren't your normal, inquisitive, true crime questions. They were very detailed, very descriptive statements about the crime scene. He would talk about where the bodies were positioned in the house, which really made a lot of people uncomfortable. And the way he phrased questions. Do we think the person took something from the scene? And people would reply, do you? I do. Alina and I talked about how creepy he was. And then tons of people talked about, I bet you the killer's on this page. We have 250,000 people. I'm sure the killer's on this page.
If the killer did in fact join this Facebook group, I think what we're looking at is some of his own need to be looked at. The difficulty about a crime for the criminal who wants credit is if nobody's figured out you've done it, how do you get credit? Part of how that need gets satisfied is you sit back and you watch.
In the weeks after the murders, the Facebook group stayed very active, but one particular contributor really stood out.
When the police said that they were looking for a white Elantra, that just set off pandemonium on the page. Pappa Rodger was insistent this white Elantra was a red herring, that it had nothing to do with the crime, was bogus, that we should be focusing on other things.
In the first weeks of December, despite having no proof at all, the members of the forum began to speculate that Pappa Rodger was actually the killer.
People would ask for his removal. Like, you're gonna get rid of this guy or what? Because he's kind of scaring me, he's freaking me out. But I saw no reason to remove him.
At the end of December, I had to travel, where I was going to be offline and not be able to help. So we asked this member to help out for a little while as a moderator. Pappa Rodger got into a big fight with a lot of people. He would fight incessantly with members in our page.
The wanting to see the maximum destruction, wanting to see the effects of your decision making, and stirring the pot with the online community is something we do see sometimes in narcissistic individuals.
He had gotten several warnings, and this moderator that we had asked to help fill in removed him from the page.
I was not happy with that decision. There's a lot of information that's now deleted completely. And what if there's some key evidence there?
Thankfully, we started taking tons of screenshots of things that he said on the page before it was removed. Pappa Rodger was removed from the page somewhere between 4 and 6 p.m. And within the hour, Pappa Rodger opens a new Facebook group called Moscow Murders Anything Goes. There was a statement by Pappa Rodger on November 30th where he says, of the evidence released, the murder weapon has been consistent as a large fixed blade knife. This leads me to believe they found the sheath. People were like, where are you getting this from?
And then in January, the PCA comes out and we see that the sheath, in fact, was left behind, which again makes us all think that this very well could have been the suspect.
Alina and Christine also went back over Pappa Rodger's new Facebook group, Moscow Murders Anything Goes, and they discovered something very odd.
When Ryan Koberger is arrested, Pappa Rodger profile goes blank. You don't see it anymore. There's no more interactions at all. That just sent chills up my spine, like, oh my God, he probably was in the group.
That whole profile gets erased from the internet. And that admin gets erased as well. And poof, gone.
I believe that the police and the FBI probably worked to get all of this information offline so they can use it in their case.
There's no mention of Pappa Rodger in the probable cause affidavit or really any evidence that the FBI took down the account. In fact, there may be no connection to Kohberger at all. But Alina and Christine could not help but notice something very striking about the Pappa Rodger profile picture.
His actual profile picture is of a Russian military guy from Moscow. In my eyes, he does resemble the suspect. I see it 100%.
If you were to look at Kohberger sideways, like his profile, I feel like that looks just like him.
I think for Kohberger, if in fact he was that profile Pappa Rodger, if this was a thrill-seeking situation for him, a thrill-seeking event, you know, dropping these little clues, dropping these hints, helps him not only relive the high, but it helps him stay in control and create sort of a secondary high for himself, which is the hunt for him.